When you think of Jerusalem, the image that usually comes to mind is of a city steeped in history and spirituality, a meeting point for three of the world's major religions. However, this ancient metropolis holds surprises that go far beyond its holy sites and stone walls. Did you know that Jerusalem also has an American soccer stadium? Or that it can be covered by a layer of snow in winter? And what about Jerusalem syndrome, a psychological condition that affects some visitors? On our journey through 21 curiosities about this fascinating city, we'll explore these and other unexpected aspects, such as the world's most expensive cemetery, thousand-year-old olive trees, and Jerusalem's role as a center of technological innovation. Prepare to be amazed by a city full of contrasts and fascinating stories. Number 1. Location. Jerusalem is located in the Judean Mountains in south-central Israel, about 2,600 feet above sea level. Geographically, the city lies between the Mediterranean Sea and the Dead Sea, making it a cultural and commercial crossroads for centuries. Its strategic location also makes it a crucial political and religious center. Jerusalem covers an area of approximately 48 square miles and is divided into East and West Jerusalem, reflecting its complex and multifaceted history. The city is surrounded by valleys and hills, such as the famous Mount of Olives, which offers breathtaking panoramic views of the ancient city. In addition, the diversity of its landscape includes a combination of dense urban areas and green spaces, contributing to a unique experience for residents and visitors alike. Israel's capital is a true mosaic of cultures, religions, and histories, all in a fascinating geographical setting. Number 2. The most contested city in the world. Jerusalem is a city marked by a tumultuous history of destruction and conquest. Over the centuries, the city has been destroyed twice, besieged 23 times, attacked on 52 occasions, and changed command 44 times. Each of these events left a deep mark on the city, shaping its cultural and architectural landscape. The most notorious destruction occurred in the year 586 BC, when the Babylonians, led by Nebuchadnezzar II, conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the first temple. This tragedy marked the beginning of the Babylonian exile for the Jews. Another significant destruction took place in the year 70 after Christ, during the First Jewish-Roman War, when the Second Temple was destroyed by the Romans under the command of Titus. This event is considered one of the most tragic moments in Jewish history and is remembered annually during Tisha B'Av, a day of fasting and mourning. In addition to these destructions, Jerusalem was the scene of several sieges, including the famous Siege of Jerusalem in 1999 during the First Crusade, when the Crusaders took the city and established the Kingdom of Jerusalem. The city was also occupied by a series of empires, including the Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Muslims, Crusaders, Mamluks, Ottomans, and more recently, the British, before becoming part of the State of Israel in 1800. This rich and complex history of conquests and reconquests has contributed to Jerusalem's cultural and religious diversity. The city is a microcosm of Middle Eastern history, where every stone and corner tells the stories of ancient civilizations and conflicts. Today, Jerusalem remains a central point of contention and a symbol of hope and resistance for many. Number 3. The holiest city in the world. Jerusalem is unique in that it is sacred to three of the major monotheistic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For Jews, the city is the site of the ancient Temple of Solomon, known as the First Temple, and the Second Temple, destroyed by the Romans. The Wailing Wall, a remnant wall of the Second Temple, is today a place of prayer and pilgrimage for Jews from all over the world. For Christians, Jerusalem is where Jesus Christ lived, preached, died, and rose again. The city is home to sacred sites such as the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where, according to tradition, Jesus was crucified and buried. Every year during Holy Week, thousands of pilgrims visit these sites, reenacting Jesus' last steps. For Muslims, Jerusalem is the third holiest place, after Mecca and Medina. The AlAqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock are located on the Temple Mount, known to Muslims as Al-Haram Ash-Sharif. According to Islamic tradition, it was from here that the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during Ascension Night. This convergence of faith and tradition makes Jerusalem a focal point of spirituality and, unfortunately, conflict. Peaceful coexistence between these three religious groups is a constant challenge, but also a source of hope and inspiration for many who see Jerusalem as a symbol of unity and diversity. Number 4. The Old City. Jerusalem's Old City is a place steeped in history and cultural diversity, reflecting the rich tapestry of peoples and religions that coexist there. Divided into 4 distinct neighborhoods: Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and Armenian. Each of these sectors has its own unique identity and an abundance of sacred and historical sites. The Jewish quarter is known for housing the Wailing Wall, one of Judaism's holiest sites. This neighborhood is a center of religious and cultural life, with ancient synagogues, study centers, and a vibrant Jewish community. The Muslim quarter is the largest of the 4 and includes the Haram al-Sharif, home to the AlAqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. This neighborhood is a center of commercial and cultural life, with bustling markets and narrow streets full of stores and food stalls. The Christian quarter is home to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, one of the holiest sites in Christianity. This area is known for its churches and monasteries, as well as being a pilgrimage destination for Christians from all over the world. The Armenian quarter, the smallest of the 4, is a closed community with its own cathedral, the Armenian Patriarchate, and various cultural institutions. The Armenian presence in Jerusalem dates back more than 1,500 years. These 4 neighborhoods together create a city within a city, where different cultures and religions coexist, sometimes in harmony and sometimes in tension, reflecting the complexity and richness of Jerusalem's history. Number 5. Jerusalem Syndrome. Jerusalem Syndrome is a fascinating and peculiar psychological phenomenon that occurs among some visitors to the city. This condition, observed mainly in tourists and pilgrims, is characterized by a series of obsessive or delusional behaviors that usually manifest themselves during or after a visit to Jerusalem. People affected by this syndrome often develop the belief that they have a divine mission, or that they are important biblical figures, such as prophets or the Messiah. Symptoms can include hallucinations, incoherent speech, religious chanting, and even the adoption of traditional costumes from biblical times. Despite appearing to be an isolated episode, Jerusalem Syndrome is recognized by doctors and psychologists as a real, albeit rare, condition. It is believed that the combination of the city's intense spiritual charge and personal religious expectations trigger these episodes in predisposed individuals. Although most cases are temporary and symptoms disappear after a few days, in some more serious cases, medical or psychiatric attention may be required. Jerusalem Syndrome is a reminder of the profound impact this holy city can have on those who visit it, especially in a context of intense faith and devotion. Number 6. oldest and most expensive cemetery in the world. The Mount of Olives in Jerusalem is one of the oldest and most revered burial sites in the world. The cemetery is known not only for its religious importance, but also for being the most expensive on the planet. Grave prices can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, reflecting the high demand and symbolic value of the site. For many Jews, being buried on the Mount of Olives is considered a supreme honor, as it is believed that the Messiah will begin the resurrection of the dead from this hill, according to Jewish traditions. In addition to its religious importance, the cemetery is a veritable open-air museum, containing the tombs of historical and religious figures of great importance, from biblical prophets to modern leaders. The cemetery's location also offers an impressive panoramic view of Jerusalem, including the Dome of the Rock and the Old City. Despite the high costs, demand for graves on the Mount of Olives remains high, fueled by belief in the holiness of the site and its esoteric significance. The cemetery continues to be a convergence point of faith, history, and tradition, further highlighting Jerusalem's uniqueness. Number 7. The Jerusalem Stone. One of Jerusalem's most striking features is the compulsory use of the Jerusalem Stone in all buildings in the city. This law, established in 1918 during the British Mandate, aims to preserve the city's unique and historic appearance by aesthetically unifying its structures with a light golden color that reflects the sunlight. Jerusalem stone, a type of local limestone, is quarried from the mountains around the city and has a distinctive appearance that has become synonymous with Jerusalem. This architectural requirement gives the city a unique and unmistakable visual identity, making it easily recognizable in photos and films. The rule of using Jerusalem stone is applied to both public and private constructions, including new buildings and restorations of old buildings. This not only preserves the city's historical heritage, but also maintains a visual harmony that is rarely seen in other metropolises. In addition to its aesthetic beauty, Jerusalem stone also has insulating properties that help keep buildings cool during the region's hot summer. This architectural detail is more than a stylistic choice. It's a tradition that keeps the history and spirit of Jerusalem alive. Number 8. The center of power. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel and also the seat of the Israeli parliament, known as the Knesset. Located in the Givat Ram neighborhood, the Knesset building is an important symbol of Israeli democracy and government. Inaugurated in 1966, the Knesset is Israel's legislative center, where the laws that govern the country are passed. The Knesset building is not only a center of political power, but also a place of symbolic and historical significance. It was designed with architectural elements that reflect Israel's cultural and historical heritage, including murals and works of art that represent important events in Jewish history. The building is also known for its gardens and for housing the famous menorah, a seven-armed candelabra that is a traditional symbol of Judaism and the State of Israel. In addition to its political function, the Knesset is a center for educational and cultural visits, welcoming tourists and citizens interested in learning more about the workings of the Israeli government. The presence of the parliament in Jerusalem reinforces the city's status as the political and spiritual heart of Israel, being a focal point for national debates and decisions. Number 9. Mahane Yehuda Market. The Mahane Yehuda Market, also known as the Shuk, is one of Jerusalem's most vibrant and iconic sites. Located in the heart of the city, this open-air market is a true meeting point of cultures, tastes, and sounds. Opened at the end of the 19th century, the market has over the years become a popular destination for locals and tourists alike. During the day, Mahane Yehuda is a bustling market where traders sell a wide variety of products, including fresh fruit, vegetables, spices, meat, fish, sweets, and baked goods. It's the ideal place to sample local cuisine and find fresh ingredients. In addition to food, the market also offers clothing, household items, and souvenirs. At night, the market becomes one of Jerusalem's liveliest nightlife spots. With many bars, restaurants, and cafes, Mahane Yehuda attracts a diverse crowd of people who come to enjoy good food, drinks, and live music. Many of the restaurants in the market offer dishes that combine culinary traditions from different cultures, reflecting the diversity of Jerusalem's population. As well as being a center for shopping and entertainment, the Mahane Yehuda market is also a place of cultural expression, with colorful street art adorning the walls and doors of the establishments. The market is a microcosm of Israeli society, representing the fusion of ancient and modern traditions in a dynamic and welcoming space. Number 10. Garden of Gethsemane. The Garden of Gethsemane is a site of deep religious and historical significance in Jerusalem. Situated at the foot of the Mount of Olives, this garden is revered as the place where Jesus prayed the night before his crucifixion, a central event in the Christian narrative. The name Gethsemane derives from an Aramaic word meaning oil press, reflecting the ancient presence of olive trees in the area. Today, the Garden of Gethsemane is still home to olive trees that are believed to be thousands of years old, possibly contemporary with Jesus. The serene landscape of the garden contrasts with the historical and spiritual weight of the place, making it a destination of pilgrimage and reflection for Christians from all over the world. Many visitors come to pray, meditate, and feel the historical presence of the place. Adjacent to the garden is the Church of All Nations, also known as the Church of the Agony, built at the beginning of the 20th century. This church is famous for its altar located on a rock, which, according to tradition, was the place where Jesus prayed and sweated blood due to his agony. The Garden of Gethsemane is therefore a place of peace and contemplation, filled with a deep and timeless spiritual heritage. Number 11. Biblical Zoo. Jerusalem's Biblical Zoo, also known as Tish Zoo, is one of the city's most popular attractions, especially among families and children. Founded in 1940, the zoo's mission is to preserve and exhibit species of animals mentioned in the Bible, as well as promoting the conservation of the native fauna of Israel and the Middle East. The zoo occupies a large and well-kept area, with landscapes that mimic the animals' natural habitats. In addition to biblical animals such as lions, bears, and roe deer, the zoo is also home to a wide variety of other species from around the world. The collection of animals ranges from large mammals to exotic birds and reptiles. One of the Biblical Zoo's main attractions is Noah's Ark, a boat-shaped structure that serves as an educational and exhibition center. There, visitors can learn about the biblical history of the Ark and the animal species it supposedly housed. The zoo is also active in breeding and conservation programs with the aim of protecting endangered species. The Jerusalem Bible Zoo is more than just a zoo. It is a place where education, history, and nature meet, providing an enriching experience for visitors of all ages. Number 12. American Soccer Stadium. Jerusalem is a city of ancient traditions and diverse cultures, but it is also a place where modern sports are gaining ground. One surprising example is the presence of an American soccer stadium in the city. The Kraft Family Stadium, located in the Sanhedria neighborhood, is the center of American soccer in Israel. This sport, which is widely associated with the United States, has found an enthusiastic foothold in Jerusalem, thanks in part to the efforts of local organizations and international donors, such as the Kraft family, owners of the NFL's New England Patriots team. The stadium is not only used for American soccer games, but also serves as a center for other sports and community events. It is home to the Israel Football League, known by the acronym IFL, which brings together teams from various parts of the country. The presence of this stadium in Jerusalem is a testament to the growing popularity of American soccer in Israel and the diversity of sporting activities that the city offers. The Kraft family stadium is a meeting place for sports fans and also a symbol of how Jerusalem, a city known for its rich history and traditions, continues to expand and embrace new cultures and sports. Number 13. Snow. Jerusalem is best known for its Mediterranean climate, with hot, dry summers and mild winters. However, every now and then, the city experiences something rare and magical: snow. When snow falls in Jerusalem, it transforms the familiar landscape into a fairy tale scene, covering the city's ancient stones in a blanket of white. This phenomenon is rare, but when it does occur, it is a significant event that attracts locals and tourists alike. The snow in Jerusalem is usually light and melts quickly, but on a few occasions, the city has experienced more substantial snowfalls that have paralyzed traffic and closed schools and businesses. Snowfalls are most common between December and February, and the expectation of snow brings a special excitement to the city. Iconic sites such as the Western Wall, the Temple Mount, and the streets of the Old City take on a different appearance, which is captured in countless photos and memories. Number 14. More than 2,000 archaeological sites. Jerusalem is one of the most archaeologically rich places in the world, with approximately 2,000 active archaeological sites. This archaeological wealth is a reflection of the city's long and complex history, spanning thousands of years and several civilizations. Archaeological excavations in Jerusalem have revealed an incredible variety of artifacts, from Stone Age tools to relics from biblical and medieval times. Some of the most notable sites include the City of David, considered the original site of ancient Jerusalem, and the excavations on Temple Mount, where traces of the ancient Jewish temples have been found. Other important sites are the excavations in the area of the Western Wall, which have revealed tunnels and underground structures dating back to the time of the Second Temple. These excavations not only help to understand the history of Jerusalem, but also provide valuable insights into the daily lives of its ancient inhabitants. From the discovery of ancient water systems to objects of religious worship, each find contributes to an understanding of the city's past. Archaeology in Jerusalem is a living science, with new discoveries happening regularly. This makes the city a fascinating place for scholars and tourists alike, who can explore the many museums and archaeological sites that bring Jerusalem's rich history to life. Number 15. The Wailing Wall. The Wailing Wall, also known as the Kotel, is one of Judaism's holiest sites. Located in the Old City of Jerusalem, this wall is what remains of the Second Temple, destroyed by the Romans in the year 70 after Christ. For centuries, the wall has been a place of prayer and pilgrimage for Jews from all over the world, who come to mourn the destruction of the temple and say their prayers. The Wailing Wall is a powerful symbol of faith and resilience. Visitors often write prayers on small pieces of paper and place them in the cracks of the wall. This practice is based on the belief that prayers left at the Kotel have a special chance of being answered. In addition to its religious significance, the Wailing Wall is an important cultural and historical meeting point. It is the focus of major religious celebrations, such as the Bar Mitzvah, and is visited by world leaders and tourists of all faiths. The Kotel is divided into two sections, one for men and one for women, according to Orthodox Jewish tradition. Recently, an equal prayer section was also established, reflecting the diversity of practices within the Jewish community. The Wailing Wall remains a place of great reverence and devotion, a living link to Jerusalem's spiritual past. Number 16. Technology Center. Although Jerusalem is known primarily for its history and religious significance, it also stands out as an emerging high-tech center. In recent years, the city has transformed itself into a hub of technological innovation, attracting startups and tech companies from all over the world. This growth is encouraged by renowned universities, such as the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, which produces talent in areas such as biotechnology, computer science, and engineering. Jerusalem's technological ecosystem is diverse, ranging from biotechnology and digital health to cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. The city is home to many research and development centers, startup incubators, and technology events that connect entrepreneurs with investors. The combination of academic knowledge and entrepreneurship has created an environment conducive to innovation. In addition, government and municipal initiatives have encouraged the growth of the technology sector in the city, offering financial and logistical support. This development not only diversifies the local economy, but also creates job opportunities and promotes a multicultural and dynamic working environment. Number 17. Earthquakes. Jerusalem, a city rich in history, also has a past marked by natural disasters, including significant earthquakes. One of the most notable was the earthquake that took place in the year 749 after Christ, known as the Al-Sham earthquake. This catastrophic event had a devastating impact on the entire Levant region, including Jerusalem, causing widespread destruction and leaving many dead. This earthquake is remembered not only for its magnitude, but also for the damage it caused to ancient structures, including churches, synagogues, and mosques. Many of the city's historic buildings suffered extensive damage, some of which have never been fully restored. The destruction also had cultural and social implications, altering the city's landscape and affecting the daily lives of its inhabitants. In addition to this earthquake, Jerusalem has a long history of seismic activity due to its location close to the Dead Sea Rift Valley, one of the most active tectonic faults in the world. This susceptibility to earthquakes is an important consideration in the preservation and renovation of the city's ancient structures. Today, the city is better prepared to deal with such disasters, with building and emergency preparedness measures in place to protect both the inhabitants and Jerusalem's rich historical heritage. Number 18. AlAqsa Mosque. The AlAqsa Mosque is one of Islam's holiest sites, located in Jerusalem's Old City. It is the third most important place for Muslims after Mecca and Medina. The complex where it is located, known as Haram al-Sharif, or Noble Sanctuary, is of great religious and historical significance, and is also the site of the Dome of the Rock. The mosque was built at the beginning of the 8th century, although the site has been used for prayer since the earliest days of Islam. Al-Aqsa means the farthest, referring to the night journey of the Prophet Muhammad, who, according to Islamic tradition, was transported from the Holy Mosque in Mecca to Al-Aqsa, and from there ascended to heaven. The mosque complex is a center of religious and cultural activity for Jerusalem's Muslim community and is visited by pilgrims from all over the world. The mosque's architecture and its internal features, such as the mihrab and mimbar, are impressive, combining historical and artistic elements. However, Al-Aqsa is also a point of political and religious tension due to its location and importance for various religions. The mosque remains a symbol of faith and resistance, and a place of great devotion and reverence for Muslims. Number 19. Foundation Stone. The foundation stone, located in the center of the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, is one of the most important and revered religious sites in the world. This stone has a special significance for various religions. For Jews, it is the place where the world was created and the place where Abraham almost sacrificed his son Isaac. It is also considered the most sacred site of Solomon's temple and the Second Temple, which were destroyed. For Muslims, the stone is equally sacred, as it is believed that it was from there that the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during Ascension Night. Islamic tradition also mentions that the stone is the point where the final judgment will take place on the Day of Judgment. The foundation stone is located inside the Dome of the Rock, an iconic and majestic structure with a golden dome that dominates the Jerusalem skyline. Built at the end of the 7th century, the Dome of the Rock is a masterpiece of Islamic architecture and a symbol of Jerusalem. The site is of great spiritual and historical importance, as well as political significance, being a sensitive point in relations between the Jewish and Muslim communities. The foundation stone continues to attract pilgrims and tourists, fascinated by its history and mysticism. Number 20. Centuries-old olive trees. The Mount of Olives in Jerusalem is home to some of the oldest olive trees in the world, estimated to be up to 800 years old. These trees are more than just ancient. They are living witnesses to the city's rich history and have deep religious and cultural significance. The Mount of Olives is a site of great importance for the three main monotheistic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. For Christians, the Mount of Olives is especially sacred, as it is the place where Jesus spent many hours teaching his disciples, and where, according to tradition, he prayed before being arrested. The olive trees, which are believed to have witnessed these events, are seen as symbols of peace and resistance. The olive trees on the hill are not only historical relics, but also an active part of local agriculture, still producing olives that are harvested and used to make olive oil. The trees are carefully preserved and are a point of interest for botanists, historians, and religious pilgrims. These centuries-old olive trees are more than just trees. They are a tangible link to the past and a symbol of life and continuity in a city marked by so many changes and conflicts over the centuries. Number 21. No shortage of parks. Jerusalem, as well as being a city rich in history and spirituality, is also known for its green spaces. The city is home to more than 1,500 parks and gardens, offering a peaceful refuge from the urban hustle and bustle, and an opportunity for residents and visitors to connect with nature. These spaces range from small neighborhood parks to large areas such as Sacher Park, Jerusalem's largest public park, which offers ample spaces for picnics, sports, and community events. Another notable example is the Jerusalem Botanical Garden, an oasis of biodiversity that displays plants from various climatic regions of the world. In addition to its natural beauty, the garden serves as a center for research and education, promoting the conservation of plant species. Jerusalem's parks and gardens are not just leisure spaces. Many of them also have historical and cultural significance. For example, Mount Herzl, as well as being a park, is the site of Israel's National Cemetery, where many of the country's most important leaders are buried. These green spaces are vital to the quality of life in the city, providing areas for recreational and cultural activities, and contributing to the sustainability and well-being of the inhabitants. In such a densely populated and historically charged city, these parks and gardens offer a welcome respite and a place for contemplation and community. And so ends our journey today through the fascinating city of Jerusalem. If you want to continue traveling with us, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on our next adventure.